I've done.
You done a carbon audit?
I've done 4 carbon audits with the beef efficiency scheme.
Yep.
Now we had a hell of a good harvest last year, best harvest I've ever had. And did that make any difference to our carbon? Not a jot. Not a jot.
So it was done per acre opposed to per unit.
Per unit of output.
No, it's tons. Aye. So
Totals on, totals off.
It should have reduced your carbon.
Yeah, but that's the trouble with the
Yeah.
thing. If you analyse it, there's anomalies in it.
well, but that's
Absolutely,
the thing.
yeah.
I'm being penalised for carbon and compost.
Not just you, everybody.
Aye.
That's
Aye, but
Willie's
I mean-
point. Everybody is going to be penalised.
And I don't get any reward from my turbines because I don't use any of the power on farm.
And if you keep up your line, you'll be penalised more. But I don't think we're ever going to get the right tool. You know, it's such an inexact science. Everyone's got different opinions. We're all going on something that UN sort of said, oh, trees are great, cows are bad. You know, none of it actually is aligning properly. That's the problem, isn't it? It's all about trends. It's about seen to be green and measuring carbon seen to be the right solution to saving the planet. What we really need is peer-reviewed science that's robust, that stands peer review, and unfortunately we're not getting that, and that's a great pity.
But there's a few points in that. So you go back to Gavin's bit where the science is wrong, but now we're disputing legislation, and the two aren't the same. Like legislation's coming along, that's not changing. The science we can maybe change, but you're not changing legislation, and that's only going to get worse. The science, yeah, you can have other scope.
But you can
change it,
change
but-
the story from arable farming is bad to arable farming is delivering
Absolutely.
this, and that's what we've got to try and do.
Well, we've got to
slightly through
deliver this somewhere.
process.
So as well, you doing it well.
We're better to tell
Well,
the
but
story.
the whole point we've been involved with Anna with the carbon positive. But there's a story to be told.
Yeah, and
we've
that
got to get a
process
good
is
story out, and we've got to get the relevance of agriculture out, because at the end of the day, people need produce, whether it's grown in the UK or whether it's imported. And it may as well be in the UK, because presumably the basic science of growing crops is not going to be different in the different areas of the world it's produced.
You know, the carbon positive thing you talked about, you know, the potential for that is for it to become sustainability, quality assurance for farmers to tell their story and say this is what we're doing, and for it to be farmer led. So that's where we've got to go with it and get it to the point where actually everyone accepts that that's a credential. That puts us in a better position. But it's, you know, it's a slow build, because what Emma and Anna have been doing, they've been tying in it's easy to do the peatland, it's easy to do the woodland, but then to start to do the arable and the livestock side of things, it's much harder. And the soils is, you know, the metrics there that are usable, but it's harder to get the other metrics to build that proof. But that's the direction of travel.
The Scottish cropping sector, arable cropping, tatties and soft fruit and veg is a third of the Scottish farm output, which is exactly the same as beef and sheep, pigs and poultry together. You know, so we're the same as that, but we're a fifth of the emissions for a third of the output. So we're actually starting in a better place. We'll have to be seen to be doing something, which we will have to do something, whether it's tweaking the nitrogen or increase the nitrogen efficiency, because that's where our biggest emissions are. Whereas this going back to plough and till to plate, that's really tweaking.
Yeah.
And it's about getting output.
Key bit you take from Pete, you know, other than obviously a good farmer, but if you build organic matter, look at the difference in establishment.
Well, the ultimate, I mean, what Andrew's doing well, when we were in the bond, a farmer said his farm should be grass. Because,
And it is now.
but a grass rotation is the way to handle Aberdeenshire soils.